Upgrading a Liliana the Necromancer Planeswalker deck. Hey everyone, it's vmcampos, Magic fan. So I've got another Planeswalker deck upgrade video. This time Liliana the Necromancer from Core Set 2019. Planeswalker decks are a cool way to get started in Magic because you get a full 60-card deck with some cool cards, and then a booster pack that you can then start to upgrade the Planeswalker deck with. That's what we're going to do right here. So this video is focused on beginning to intermediate players. So I'm going to stick with cards that are only in Core Set 2019, common or uncommon, because you can make an amazing deck if you've got the money for rares and mythics. So let's see how I would upgrade this deck. There's a few hints about how you can play this deck in the box. Liliana the Necromancer. Liliana has mastered death and bends it to her will, defying the laws of nature. In pursuit of power, use her skills to raise an army of undead and drain the life from your opponent. And we've also got here in the how to play, with Necromancy at her disposal, Liliana doesn't worry about her minions falling in battle. Don't be afraid to sacrifice your own creatures for potent effects or trade them in combat for your opponent's creatures. After all, yours will come back from the graveyard. Gradually drain life from your opponent, and when Liliana joins the fray, use her abilities to build a relentless army of undead. Okay, so first of all, I'm going to keep a pair of cards here. These are a few of the exclusive cards that come with this deck. Cards over number 280 are exclusive to the Planeswalker deck. You won't find them in packs. So here's a 4 casting cost sorcery. Target opponent discards a card, and then look at the top 5 cards from your library. You may reveal a black card from them and put it into your hand. Put the rest at the bottom of your library in a random order. Okay, well, the idea is I'm going to focus a little bit more on discard. We're going to disrupt the opponent's hand with discard spells, so I'm keeping both of these. I want that as my cornerstone. The deck has 26 swamps, so it's a mono-colored deck. You don't need 26 swamps if all your spells are black. So I'm going to remove 3 lands to instead put in 3 copies of Duress. This is a common card for 1 black. Sorcery. Target opponent reveals their hand. You choose a non-creature, non-land card from it. That player discards that card. So, getting this turn 1 is important. That's why there's 3 of them. Actually, there's 4 of them. I'm going to also remove the 7 casting cost Meteor Golem for 1 more Duress. So a full playset of Duress. I want to be sure I get this on my opening hand. This will reveal the opponent's plans, their whole hand of 7 cards, and it'll let you destroy a non-land, non-creature card from it. Get it right out of their hand. Great disruption right there. We've got a playset of another exclusive card, Tattered Mummy, number 285. For 2 casting costs, you get a 1/2 zombie jackal. And when it dies, each opponent loses 2 life. Okay, I'm going to leave 2 of them, because instead I'm going to take out 2 and put in 2 Mind Rots. This is a 3 casting cost sorcery. Target player discards 2 cards. Okay, well, they can't do much against you if they're missing cards in their hand. So discard 2 cards. This is going to be important to the new strategy. So I'm going to keep 2 Tattered Mummies, put in 2 Mind Rots, and then I'm also going to add 1 more Mind Rot, because I'm going to remove one of the other exclusive cards, Arisen Gorgon. This is for 3 mana, 1 and black, you get a zombie Gorgon, 3/3. And it has Death Touch as long as you've got your Planeswalker. Now the Planeswalker is a 5 casting cost card, so it assumes you've got your Planeswalker Liliana before this has Death Touch. Well, I took out 1, so I have another Mind Rot. So I'm going to have 3 Mind Rots here to further disrupt their hand. Another bit of disruption is to destroy their creatures, no questions asked. For 3 mana, 1 black, instant, destroy target creature. So bring down your opponent's strongest creatures with 1 spell. Goodbye Galta, goodbye Gigantosaurus, goodbye whatever. Okay, well, I'm going to put 2 more of those into the deck, so a full playset of Murder, by removing Abnormal Endurance. So, creatures are done. Here's another creature removal, this time for 5 mana. Destroy a creature and you gain 3 life. Okay, that's cool. So therefore, I'm going to put 2 more of those, meaning I'm going to take out the Blood Divination. So more creature destruction, no questions asked. Alright, on our side of the creatures, I'm going to keep both of the Diregraph Ghouls, a 1 casting cost 2/2 creature that comes into the battlefield tapped. I'm going to keep the Reassembling Skeleton. Actually, I want another one, so I'm going to remove the Sovereign's Bite to have 2 of these Reanimating Skeletons. For 2 casting cost, you get a 1/1 Great Chump Blocker. But then you pay its casting cost again to return it from your graveyard to the battlefield tapped. So at instant speed, the skeleton can come back ready to keep defending. Kind of a plain vanilla 2/2 zombie creature. I'm going to remove that instead to have 2 Child of Night. Same casting cost, but this time you get a lifelinking 2/1 creature at common. The Sky March Bloodletter is a 2/2 flyer for 3 mana. I'm removing that to instead have an upgrade to a 1/3 flyer with Fell Spectre, but then when it enters the battlefield, target opponent discards a card. So more card disruption there, and when an opponent discards a card, that player loses 2 life. So imagine having the Spectre first, you disrupt, you have them get rid of a card in their hand, then you play the other ones like Mind Rot or Duress, and then they discard cards, and then they also lose life. I'm keeping the Gravedigger, 4 casting cost 2/2, and when it enters the battlefield, you may return target creature card from your graveyard to your hand. Okay, so the other part of this deck is bringing back creatures. So I want 2 of them. I'm going to take out the Strangling Spores and put another Gravedigger, bring back more creatures from my graveyard. That means I'm going to keep the Grave Waker, 6 casting costs, very expensive, exclusive card. You get a 5/5 flyer, that's cool, but then you pay this activation cost, return target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield tapped. So big old creature that'll take a lot of punishment, but it'll help you bring back your creatures from the graveyard. I'll keep the Skeleton Archer for 4 mana. You get a 3/3 creature. When it enters the battlefield, deal 1 damage to any target. Creature, opponent, Planeswalker. This is the one that I might think of adding 1 or more to the deck, perhaps. I'm keeping the Demon of Catastrophes, 4 casting cost, rare card, 6/6. As an additional cost to cast this spell, sacrifice a creature. Well, for that, you get a flying, trampling creature. Guess what? Sacrifice your skeleton, which can come back to life anyway, and you've got a 6/6 flyer trampler on the field. Lastly, here's another flyer, and I'm keeping this 5 casting cost, 3/4 vampire, the Vampire Sovereign. It's got flying. When it enters the battlefield, target opponent loses 3 life, you gain 3 life. And the final card of this deck is Liliana the Necromancer, a 5 casting cost Planeswalker. She comes in with 4 loyalty counters. When you +1 her, target player loses 2 life. -1 her, return target creature card from your graveyard to your hand, so more reanimation, and then her ultimate, destroy up to 2 target creatures. Put up to 2 creature cards from graveyards into the battlefield under your control. Steal your opponent's creatures when you ultimate her. Very powerful. So there you go, that's my upgrade for the Liliana Necromancer deck. Focused a little bit more on removal and viewing your opponent's cards, reanimating some creatures, really messing with them, and then doing some ultimate stuff with Liliana herself. What do you think? How would you improve the deck? What would you add or remove to it? Leave a comment below. If you liked the video, don't forget to subscribe, like and share. Don't forget to check out my Patreon. For as little as $1 a month, you can get exclusive content related to Magic, comic books, and other fun stuff. I think it's worth it. This has been VM Campos. See you on Dominaria.